Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The NFL world woke up today to one of the biggest shockwaves in recent memory. Nick Bosa has officially signed with the Miami Dolphins, reuniting with his brother Joey Bosa in what's already being called a defensive nightmare for opposing offenses. Imagine that for a second. Two of the most dominant pass rushers in the league, born of the same bloodline, wearing the same uniform, breathing down quarterbacks' necks every Sunday. The rumors had been floating for weeks, whispers from insiders claiming that Miami was quietly cooking up something historic, but few actually believed it could happen. Now it's real, it's official, and Dolphins fans are already flooding social media with wild predictions of an unstoppable defensive front. The Bosas together? That's not just talent. That's a legacy being weaponized. Nick reportedly told close friends he wanted to build something legendary. And what better way to do that than side by side with his brother in the heart of South Beach? Behind the scenes, this move didn't come easy. Sources close to the negotiations say that Miami's front office had to maneuver around tight salary cap constraints and restructure several contracts to make room for Nick's massive deal. We're talking about a multi-year contract reportedly north of $150 million, making him one of the highest-paid defensive players in league history. But for Miami, it's not just about the money. It's about sending a message. The Dolphins have long been known for their flashy offense and explosive playmakers, but now they're flipping the narrative. They're investing in fear. They're betting on chaos. They're betting that no offensive line in the league can handle two Bosas coming off the edge, fueled by rivalry, pride, and brotherhood. The energy around this signing feels like a storm brewing over the AFC. Fans are already dubbing this duo the Bosa Blitz, and it's easy to see why. Joey has always been the cerebral technician, strong hands, textbook leverage, the kind of player who breaks down film like a scientist. Nick, on the other hand, is pure explosion, speed, violence, and relentlessness. Together, they bring balance, intelligence and aggression, precision and power. It's a dangerous combination that could completely redefine how teams approach protection schemes. Imagine offensive coordinators sitting in dark rooms, staring at film, trying to figure out which Bosa to double team, and realizing that no matter what they do, one of them will break free. It's football horror for quarterbacks, and that's exactly what Nick meant when he told reporters, "We're coming to bring terror." What's fascinating about this move is how it reshapes the Dolphins' identity. This team has flirted with greatness over the past few years, showing flashes of dominance, but struggling to find consistency on defense. With Nick joining forces with Joey, that inconsistency could vanish. Coach Mike McDaniel has already hinted at a more aggressive defensive scheme, and with both Bosas on the line, Miami might finally have the personnel to make it work. Imagine the Dolphins forcing turnovers, collapsing pockets, and dictating the tempo from the first snap. Suddenly, Tua Tagovailoa and that electric offense won't have to carry the full burden. The defense can now win games on its own. This is more than a signing. It's a cultural shift, a statement that Miami is tired of being flashy but fragile. They want to be feared. And then there's the emotional layer. For the Bosa family, this is more than business, it's legacy. Their father, John Bosa, was once a Dolphin himself, drafted by Miami back in the late 1980s. Now, decades later, his two sons will wear the same logo he once did, carrying the family name into a new era. You can feel the poetry in it. Two brothers chasing the same dream, wearing the same colors, building something their father started. There's something almost cinematic about it. And let's be honest, the NFL marketing team must be salivating. Brothers of destruction, bloodline of pressure, Bosa brothers unleashed. The narratives practically write themselves. The jerseys will fly off shelves, the hype will be unreal, and the Dolphins' defense will instantly become must-watch television. Still, the question remains, can they coexist on the same line without stepping on each other's roles? Both Nick and Joey are used to being the alpha, the focal point of their respective defenses. Chemistry is everything in football, and egos can clash under the spotlight. But insiders say this isn't a concern. Apparently, the brothers have been dreaming of this scenario since childhood, training together, competing, and imagining the day they'd finally share the same NFL field. Joey even posted a cryptic message on Instagram weeks ago, family business loading. Now we know exactly what he meant. This isn't just about dominance. It's about destiny. And the league better be ready, because when destiny wears aqua and orange, somebody's getting hit hard. If you close your eyes, you can almost picture it. Hard Rock Stadium, Sunday afternoon, the crowd roaring as both BOSAs line up side by side. The offensive line is trembling, the quarterback audibly shouting adjustments, and in that split second before the snap, silence. Then chaos. Two storms erupting from opposite sides, collapsing the pocket, leaving nothing but panic in their wake. That's the vision Miami sold Nick on. That's the dream the Dolphins are building. A defense that doesn't just stop opponents, but dismantles them. And if early reports are any indication, the Dolphins are not done yet. Rumors are swirling that Miami is targeting another veteran linebacker to complete what could be the most terrifying front seven in football. It's not just about collecting stars. It's about building a system designed to suffocate offenses before they can even breathe. Around the league, the reaction has been a mix of awe and fear. Rival GMs are calling it a game changer, while coaches are already reworking their blocking schemes in anticipation of facing Miami. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, all the AFC elite, will now have to deal with the BOSA brothers bearing down on them. Even the most confident quarterbacks might start feeling footsteps that aren't there, haunted by the pressure that's coming. That's what great defenses do. They don't just make plays, they live rent-free in your head. One former player even said, "This could be the new Legion of Boom, but with more muscle and more menace." The comparison might sound bold, but when you've got two BOSAs leading the charge, bold doesn't seem so crazy. Miami's locker room reportedly erupted when the news broke. Players were hugging, shouting, calling it the missing piece. Veteran defensive tackle Christian Wilkins was one of the first to post about it, writing, "We just got a whole lot scarier." That energy is contagious. It's the kind of vibe that can transform a good team into a great one. The Dolphins' defense, once seen as their Achilles heel, could now become their greatest weapon. Fans are already dreaming of deep playoff runs, maybe even that elusive Super Bowl appearance. And honestly, who could blame them? With Tyreek Hill torching defenses on offense and the BOSAs terrorizing quarterbacks on defense, this team suddenly looks balanced, complete, and downright dangerous. Miami isn't just competing anymore, they're hunting. Of course, the pressure will be immense. Expectations like this come with heavy weight. The spotlight will be brighter than ever, and every sack, every hit, every missed tackle will be dissected by fans and analysts alike. But if there's one thing the BOSAs thrive on, it's pressure. It's in their DNA. Both brothers have battled injuries, criticism, and doubt throughout their careers, yet each time, they've come back stronger. Nick's intensity is unmatched, that quiet, laser-focused rage that fuels every snap. Joey brings the experience and composure of a seasoned veteran. Together, they're the perfect storm, one relentless, one refined, both ruthless. When Nick said during his introductory press conference, "We're coming to bring terror," he wasn't speaking metaphorically. He meant every word. The Dolphins, for years, have been a team chasing an identity. Under Mike McDaniel, they found offensive magic but defensive inconsistency. Now, that equation changes. The BOSAs bring not just talent but attitude, that gritty, no-nonsense edge Miami's been missing. Picture it, a third and long, the stadium thundering, and both BOSAs crouched low on either side of the line. The opposing quarterback knows what's coming but can't stop it. That's the kind of psychological dominance that changes the balance of power in the league. From a team known for speed and flair, Miami could evolve into a dynasty built on toughness, unity, and fear. And if that happens, we might look back on this signing as the day the Dolphins stopped being a punchline and started being a problem. And maybe, just maybe, this is bigger than football. Maybe it's about family, legacy, and what it means to chase greatness together. The BOSAs aren't just rewriting the Dolphins' story. They're writing their own chapter in NFL history. Brothers, teammates, warriors, standing shoulder to shoulder in the trenches. It's the kind of storyline that Hollywood couldn't script better. And somewhere, their father is probably smiling, watching his sons carry the torch he once held. So when the season kicks off, and that first snap echoes through the stadium, remember this moment. Because the BOSA brothers in Miami isn't just a signing. It's a signal, a warning, a promise. The league has been put on notice, and the Dolphins are ready to unleash absolute terror. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? And as the excitement builds across Miami, there's an undeniable sense that something special is brewing. The city hasn't felt this kind of electricity since the days of Dan Marino, that raw, collective belief that greatness might finally be within reach. Bars are packed with fans debating which brother will rack up more sacks, sports radio is buzzing nonstop, and even local celebrities are posting about the BOSA era. It's more than hype, it's hope, wrapped in adrenaline and swagger. South Beach, known for its flash and flair, finally has a defense that matches the city's attitude: loud, fearless, and unapologetically bold. The BOSAs aren't just joining a team. They're igniting a movement, turning the Dolphins into a brand of toughness and unity that the entire city can rally behind. Behind closed doors, league insiders are whispering that this move could change how teams build rosters in the future. Pairing siblings, or even close family connections, brings a level of chemistry and trust that money can't buy. The BOSAs already know each other's tendencies, rhythms, and moods without saying a word. They've trained together for years, studied film side by side, and pushed one another past their limits. That built-in connection could be the secret ingredient that turns good defenses into legendary ones. It's something coaches dream about but rarely get. Two elite athletes who move as one, think as one, and attack as one. If the experiment works, don't be surprised if other teams start chasing that same formula, trying to replicate what Miami just created overnight. And so, as preseason looms and the countdown to kickoff begins, one thing feels certain. The NFL has just entered a new era of defensive domination. The BOSA brothers are no longer just players. They're symbols of power, precision, and pride. Every hit will echo louder, every sack will send a message, and every victory will carry the weight of something bigger than football. It's about legacy. It's about family. It's about rewriting what it means to play defense in the modern NFL. So buckle up, because the Dolphins aren't just playing for wins anymore. They're playing for history. And with Nick and Joey leading the charge, history might not be ready for what's coming. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.